And good morning to my YouTube friends. Good to see you today. Let me add a little bit of light. That will probably help just a little bit. I want to get Reba's page here so I can see you there. Good morning, good morning. So we're going to be doing some cute bunnies today. There we are. Yay, we're on all the places. There we go. All right, hope you can hear me well. Hey, Marsha, how are you today? Hello, hello, welcome on in. Y'all be sure and on Facebook, float me hearts today. Let's see if we can get some. Maybe not, but y'all know I'm still trying to get you the hearts here. And on YouTube, if you'll put me a heart and a comment there, I appreciate that as well. So we're doing our Reba Rose show today, but we're also going to be blending colors. So I didn't get to go on YouTube last night and do the blending colors. We had something come up here with my phone, so we are just going to do it this morning. So I am using this inexpensive frame from the dollar store, and I'm using this was the backing. Now this had a little painting of a lady, just a little black and white on there. I put a cover of my Paint Pixie undercover primer on there, and now I'm going to put paint on top of that. Now it is inexpensive. It did come from the dollar store, so just know that if you use this, if you can get another piece that's this size or use a piece of cardboard on top, it may do better. I tried my 8x10 that I have. It will not exactly fit in here. So this is probably more of an 8x9. So I would say use a piece of cardboard if you don't like this here. So I'm going to paint over this. I'm okay with it because it does have cardboard on the back, so I think we'll work with it. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Yvonne. Hey, Linda. Hey, Lori from Nana's Homemade Treasures. Good to see you. Y'all grab your coffee. It's coffee time this morning. It's muggy and yucky in the south. And a dreary day, but we're not going to have a dreary day here, are we? All right, I'm going to use a little bit of my glazed donut and go ahead and paint the back. As y'all see, this beautiful print has that color in it. In the background, it does have some glazed donut. So we're gonna work with that first. And I know we're gonna paint around the edges, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this on just to have a coat of paint under it, and that color will work. I'm just making sure it's gonna come out okay. It's almost empty. But I keep it in this big one because I use so much of it. Sorry for the noise, but can't help that. All right, let's get my brush. So we're going to get all of this done. And then we'll be painting over some of this in the corners because we're going to blend some blues today. And this is what I was going to do last night. So I said, let's do that today. This is one of Reba's new prints. I'm going to give you the SKU number, and I will go back and put it in my description. So this kind of has a textured background, but I wasn't necessarily going to use these for that. I just wanted the frame just to use. So you can get some inexpensive frames and you can paint those. You can put molds on them, which we'll probably do today. So all kinds of things you can do with it. All right, so I just went ahead and gave the whole thing a coat of paint. Now you definitely cannot see that through there. We'll dry that up. So the print I'm using today is called Porcelain Spring Rabbit Pair 2. And it's 2530. Reba Rose Creations, 2530. And that's what I'm going to be using today. Isn't that gorgeous? We're going to use some of the paint around the edges and play with our blues today. Hey, Marsha, thank you for jumping on Reba's page. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And it's hard for me to read the comments, so I am so sorry. Is it Sahana? And shirt? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you today. Thank you for joining my YouTube today. So I usually go live on Tuesday nights and show some of the paints. Right now we're doing a series on mixing paints. And it's not going to matter about this background. We're going to be painting over it some. But if you'll go ahead and put you a base coat, it does help. You don't always have to, but if you're using the other piece, you wouldn't have to really do this. You can just paint in your background with your color. So we're just going to play with it, see what we get. We are using Paint Pixie paint. It is a chalk paint, and it is made from the earth, so it does not have those scents and everything that sometimes bother you. Hey, Annette, good to see you. Hey, Miss Ruby, good to see you today. Hey, Lena, good to see you. Thank you. Hello. Welcome on in. We'll get that a good dry, and then we're going to put our Mod Podge to go ahead and put our print on. So that's pretty dry, I believe. Feels like it. So you can use some inexpensive pieces to put things on. You can always use cardboard if you can't find anything else. You can find all of these. You want the ones without the frame. If you use the ones with the frame, you can take it off, take the frame off, and you can still use it. But I just prefer to just get the little flat ones. You can get these at Walmart, Dollar Tree. Any of your inexpensive dollar stores have them. Dollar General has them. Any of those. So I'm using the Mod Podge Multi, which is a matte, and it is actually a matte and does not have that shiny stuff. So we'll use that to put our print on today. Just going to give that a good coat, and we will use the iron, so I will show you the iron method. If you don't have one of the little irons, it's a good investment. They're not really expensive. The one I have, that model has been discontinued, but I do, in my Amazon shop, I did put the newer model of that iron. Now, when you're going to iron it, go ahead and dry up your background just a little bit, and then that glue is going to reactivate once we put our print on there. Because you don't want it to be so wet that when you put your print on, that you get watermarks. Thank you, Lori. This is one of those Be Aware ones that I've had. I have a whole lot of them. Some of them are too big now, but I like this one with the hearts. And I thought since it had the blue, it would be pretty today. Because I get paint on me. You know I'm going to get paint on me, always. Hello, welcome on in today. Good to see you. Thank you for watching me. I would appreciate a heart and a subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, now we're going to put this down. I did accidentally tear it right here, but once we put it down, it's going to be fine. I'm going to try to leave a little bit more at the top of it so that we can blend in a little bit right there. And I did tear my edges off with one of these We Are tear guides, the rulers. That's what I like to use. You can use anything you want. You can use the water. I would say, though, if you're using water, sometimes you get your print too wet. So I prefer to tear mine instead of using the water pen. I'm going to get it, make sure we kind of get it straight here. All right. Now, a lot of this may not show in the frame, so I might not put the frame on right now. We got our iron on. We're good. All right. So let's get our parchment paper here. And you're going to put your iron, I put it just a little over half, so it won't be too hot. You're going to start in the middle, just like this, and you're going to move out. Move out. That's going to reactivate that glue, and you want to move it to the edges too. So you start in the middle and move out, and that's going to help get all of that down. This reminds me of all the rabbits and bunnies that you see in Canada. You know, they have a lot of rabbits there in a lot of the restaurants. And I just love this look. Okay, that should be down. Let's make sure. Okay, so I've got all that down. Thank you. Hello to you. Hello. I can't see that as well from here, but I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. So now we're going to blend in some colors on the back. So we got to kind of look at our colors and see what we've got that's going to match that blue. So we probably are not going to have this exact blue. It is kind of a different blue. This is pretty close. This is the sugared glass. Sugared glass. This is also Paint Pixie. She does ship in the USA. I'm going to put a little bit of that out. Let's put a little bit of our cream puff because we've got some cream in here. So I'm going to put a little bit of cream puff. Put some of these on your palette. Now, let's see. I'm not sure that this is going to do a whole lot for it because that's more of a French macaroon. It does have a little bit right down in here in a lighter color. And I also have this Caribbean Cooler, which is this color here. So we're going to get a little bit of it out. Caribbean Cooler. Put a little bit of that. Let's see, did I have, oh, I did have some, okay. A little bit of that, and it might have to be lightened up a little bit. It might be too dark. I do have this, also have this mojito that if you look at the flowers in here, when you look at the colors, it's got all kinds of colors that you can use. So we could probably blend this color in as well. I don't know if this one's been open, so let me shake it really, really well. I don't think I have a small one. But this color is definitely in there as well. And this is the mojito. And then you can always lighten with a white or a cream. That one still wasn't completely shook up, so let's shake it just a little bit more. Getting our exercise this morning, shaking it in. I'm from the USA. I live in the South USA. Okay, now we got that. Now we want to take a little brush, and I'm going to try a little bit different one today. I'm going to see how that works. I've got a little smaller one. I want to try that and see how that does on the background. So we're just going to take our paint, and I'm first going to take this sugared glass, and I'm just putting a little bit on my brush, and we're just kind of patting it in around our print, just like this. Can y'all see okay? Hey, Barb, good to see you today. So we're just going to kind of blend that in right there in some different places. This is going to kind of blend in your paper where it looks more like a painting, like it belongs here. And you can go to the edge of your print. You can go to the edge of the print. So I'm just blending in places, and then we're going to fill in. So we're just going to do a few places, and then we're going to go back and see I'm touching the edge of my paper here so that that blends that on in. Just kind of tap it in different places. There's a little bit of it right up in here. And we can leave some of that background because that color's in there as well. So we don't have to paint over everything. So if you already have a background, that helps when you're getting ready to do your colors. We also have the pinks. So this is a little bit too light a pink. So I would say we're probably going to have to mix these two colors. And that would be some of your cotton candy. Also Paint Pixie. and a little bit of red velvet cake, which the red velvet cake has some pink in it. So that's red velvet cake, and you can kind of mix that right in. So we're going to put that to the side. I'm going to get another brush so I can keep that one for kind of the darker blue colors. And then I'm going to get another one for this other, what did I do with that other brush? Let's try this one. Let's mix the pink and a little bit of that color there. That's kind of a burgundy, almost a burgundy pink on there. But I think this may blend. Maybe a little darker. That looks more like the color. Okay, let's blend a little of that in. That is pretty close. Now, it's not exact, and it could be a little bit darker. So you probably could add just a little bit of your chocolate souffle, which is a brown. We're doing mixing colors this week. That's what we've been doing in our series to show you how you can blend paints. It can be any kind of paint that you have. Just pick your colors. Remember your colors from school, what makes what color. And then just take some of your colors and mix them together to try to blend in with what you have in the background. I'll put a little bit of this brown right here. And I'm going to add just a tad of that because it looks like it needs just a little bit darker. But I don't want to have too dark. So let's just see if that kind of blends it a little bit. That looks almost just the color. Look how good that looks. Now that is pretty close to that color. Doesn't have to be exact. Just do what you can do. So you got some pink down in here, so I'm going to put a little bit of that down in here as well. And we're just using what we've got blended together. A little bit right in here. You still got your pink flowers down in here. It can be really anywhere on here you want. I just like to kind of put the color near what it looks like. And I'm going on the edge of my print for that. You got a little bit of that color up in here. So we can do the same thing with our brush. We're just going to pounce it right here on the edge. Now you can do anything you want to blend your background. We're just trying to work with some of the colors we have right now. Okay, I'm going to leave that pink brush over here, and let's get a little bit of this. This one is the, that was the sugared glass, and then this one is this darker Caribbean or Caribbean, whichever one you want to call it, cooler. And you see that it's a little bit darker than this. It's got a tad more dark color. And all these paint names have fun colors. So it's kind of close to that color, but you can see that it's a little bit different. I'll hold it up and show it to you in just a minute. I'm going to put a little bit over in here. It is a different color. It's a little bit darker than the other. It just may be hard for you to see that it is a different color, but it is. I'm just putting some of that on there. Putting some of that right down in here. Still gonna leave some of that glazed donut on the background. I'm gonna leave some of that blended in as well. And you're just going to the edge and just mixing and matching whatever you want to. There's no certain way to do it. You don't have to make it a certain length, a certain size. You're just blending your paint. Just wherever you want it. It may not look right now, but when we get finished, it will. So we're just blending paint. Just blending it in, just in some different places. I'll go a little bit more in here with that. Leave that one like that. And we're going to blend this one in right here. Okay. Now let's take, let me wipe some of this off. We're going to take this lighter color that we had here. This one is the Mojito. All these paints are named after drinks or desserts. So if they sound yummy, that's why. This is Paint Pixie paint. And I've been doing a blending session with her paints. See, we've got this light color in there too. So that's going to blend well. We've got a little bit of that in there. Doesn't have to be exact. If your colors don't look exact, that's okay. You can kind of blend them anyway, and they will all do well once you get them all together. So don't be afraid to paint something. Don't be afraid to add some color. Okay, and let's put a little bit down in here. And we're going to put, there's definitely some of this over on this side, so we want to blend in this side as well. So let's go a little bit longer right in here. Some of my other paint's coming out. Let me wash this a little bit. That dark was kind of coming out in my brush. Let's get that off. And it won't matter, but I wanted it to look right. So let's go back here. And that's okay if it had a little bit of that paint, because it's all matches. So this is just some of your lighter in the blues right in here. And now let's take a little bit more of the pinky color that we have. Let's get a little bit more of it before it dries up. And let's put a little bit more of it in places. So we need just a tad more of it. We got some of that right here in these bushes. I'm going to do that. And we're coming all the way over on the edge of our print. Okay. And now we're going to take a little bit of this cream puff, which is a cream color. That is our cream puff. We're going to take a little bit of it. I'm just taking a little paint off as I go. I'm dipping my brush and then I'm taking a little bit off. Let's put some of that right in here. That's just going to give us some lighting up. Words are hard sometimes, y'all. Light up right in here. A little bit more right in there. And then you can add some right here on top of your blue to bring it in right there on a corner. Okay, let's put a little bit right over in here. Kind of blend that in right in there. This color is in there as well. So that's all you're doing to your background. Hey, Eva, thank you for jumping on Reba's page. I appreciate that today. Thank you so much. If y'all have not subscribed, excuse me, y'all. She doesn't have a YouTube yet. Subscribe on YouTube. If you have not joined Reba's page, be sure and do that. That's where you're going to see updates when she has updates and has new prints out. All of these are the new spring Easter. They're out now. And she has some gorgeous, gorgeous things. And there's a lot to look at. A lot to choose from. A lot. This is just one of them. She has another print like this. The bunnies are a little bit different. The flowers are a little bit different. She's got one like that. She's got a whole collection of these that are called the porcelain bunnies. So be sure and join her page so that you can find updates there, and anytime that she has something it's on sale or something. Now, she does ship in the United States. She does have a download tab that you can get some downloads, so you can check that out as well. And it will tell you that they're downloads. Okay, let's get this pink back. I think we need, let's get a little bit more of this. Now, there's a couple of places that I wanted to touch this color that we had in our background. I'm touching it back up in a few places where I saw just a little bit on there. Okay, got that. All right, let's go back to our blues. And let's put a little bit on this side. This is just what I have so far, and it might look like a mismatch to you, but you just keep blending, blending, blending to get what you want. And it's whatever you like and what you like to see for your background. So I'm going to add a little bit more of this lighter blue. I'm going to put a little bit more up in here, and a little bit more right in here, and a little bit right in here. I'm still leaving some of that background, but I'm just blending some of these other blues back in. Hey, Annette. Hey, Pamela. Good to see you. Hey, Beverly. Good morning. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. So you can say the word share. And if you are on Facebook and you watch me, this is your replay today. Thank you for replaying. Would you please just put exclamation mark replay, and that will give you a thank you for replaying. The hashtag just really will not make a whole lot of difference. So if you'll just put that, it'll give you a note right then, and thank you for doing that. All right, let's go back to our first blue, which was our sugared glaze. Let's go back to it. Let's put a little bit of it in here and blend that on up. And you can do it light or dark. And I'm just going to paint right on up to this other with that one. I got a little bit on my print, but I'm okay with it because I'm trying to kind of blend it. So we're okay with that part. All right, let's put a little bit right up in here. And that is a little bit lighter. And then we're going to take some of the dark here. I'm going to bring that back to kind of blend that back with that a little bit. So go back over it a little bit sometimes. There we go. That's looking good. We're going to finish something on the top here. I'm okay with the bottom. I'm just going to put a little bit of blue right in there. So that kind of blends that. And a right in here. Kind of mix those together. So if you don't like this look, you can do it entirely different. You don't have to do it like this. You can spread it out more. You can make it look a little different. It's totally up to you what you like and what you want to do. It's what your print, how you want it to look, or how you want your background to look. This is just giving you some of the methods so you can see how to do it, and then you can go and create what you like. Now this is the blue. It's hard to tell that it is, but this is that lighter blue. And I'm gonna blend it in kind of right here a little bit. And then I'm gonna take this lighter right up here in the corner. I'm gonna add a little bit of that brown that we have already out, the chocolate souffle. And I'm going to see if I like that color. That might have been too much brown. Let's put a little bit more blue. Let me see if I'm going to blend that and see if I like it. That's a little bit different. So we'll just mix that right on in. So just take the paint that you have and just kind of mix and match. And then you can put a little bit on top of your colors here that look a little bit too much. Maybe they look a certain way that you don't really like. Just pounce a little paint on them and just straighten that up just a little bit. All right, that light pink, we could still use a little bit of the light pink. So if we wanted to take a little bit of that light pink, we could kind of tap in right in here and right down in here, because that color is blended in there, in those roses. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that lighter pink, and I'm just going to kind of put it on the edges of that, and a little bit right in here. It's not going to show a whole lot, but we'll put a little bit right in here. And a little bit right up in here. And we're just blending that paint. Now we also could put some other colors in the background. We could put some, let's do a little bit of the Prosecco, which is one of your metallic paints. Let's put a little bit of that in there. Let's see if we can get it out and get a little bit of it. I think that might blend a little bit too. Find a place we can put it. Let me see, it got a little stuck there. Let me get that dry paint out. Sometimes these tops do that. There we go. Okay, this is the Prosecco, and this is a little bit more of a metallic paint. So let's take a little bit of that metallic paint, and let's just kind of put it around as well. And see how that's blending in our background a little bit too. So that's what we have so far. That's what we're having so far. Let's take a little bit more of that. Sorry if I don't see your comments. I welcome you. I thank you for being here. Trying to get all this kind of blended in. You like it? Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Now, something else you can do if you want to put a little bit of that Prosecco in with your flowers, you can, or on your bunnies, or wherever you want to add a little bit, you definitely could do that. Just don't take away from your print. But if you wanted to put a little bit, I usually do little, let's see if I can find that brush. I take it, if I'm going to put any in my print, I just take it and do little commas, like on the flowers or something. So if I want to blend this a little bit to make it shine, just a little bit, have a little bit, I just take it and put a little, just a little comma is all I do with that. And that just kind of brings that out just a little bit more, just with some little commas. You're not taking away from your print. And it's hard for you to see on camera, but it does give it a little bit of shimmer. And I'll hold it, but I don't think you'll be able to see it that well. But that's all you're doing to that when you're trying to bring in just a little bit on your flowers, just to make them look a little bit more highlighted. That's what you can do with some of the metallics. I'm just going to add some more in here of this. I do like the metallic on here. It is pretty. You could also use one of the other metallics. There's gold, silver, any of those. I'm just putting a little bit right here on the edge to kind of blend that in. So I'm liking it. It may not be your taste, but I do like the way it's looking. I do like the way it looks. I'm just adding some metallic down in here. I'm going to let that dry a minute. Just put that right in there. I like it. So that's what I have for you so far. I'm liking it. I'm going to put it right over here and let that be drying. Okay, let's grab our frame here. Now, I do have some molds, and I might use those. I'm kind of thinking, this is not dry, but I'm thinking of framing. You'll still be able to see the edges. And then this is just an inexpensive frame, so it's not really wood. It looks like it's a wood composite. We can leave it in wood, and we can paint these pieces. And these are Formflex compound, and you can mold them. They are molds made with that material. You can mold them to the edge of your frame. And I'm kind of thinking that that would look good to put these on the edge to dress it up. Y'all like these? Hey, Nancy from Crafting Downstairs with Nancy. Hey, Queen Bee's Bits and Baubles. Thank you. Now, you know you do a good job too, Bronya. Hey, Darlia. Hey, Lisa. What do y'all think? Y'all like these? Y'all give me a little heart if y'all like the molds. I kind of think that'd make it pretty. I can leave it in the wood because the wood will match in there, and then paint these in a color, and I think they would be pretty. You thinking the, oh yeah, Prosecco might look good on there. Now, sometimes you have these little ookies on the side when you mold these. This is a clay. It's Form Flex compound, and it will actually bend on our frame. You like it? Let's try them. I'm thinking if we do these in Prosecco, or either do highlight in Prosecco. I don't know. Do we want to do them in one of the blues? Would it be too much blue if we do blue? Should we do, let's paint them up in the same color. Let's use the glazed donut that I used on the background. Let's do them in glazed donut. And then we will take and put some Prosecco or something on top to highlight it. Does that sound good? We're going to put these around our frame. And we're just going to kind of bend them a little bit and make them work. So if you've never used molds, so again, you're just going to do a color that's in your print. This was kind of in the print in the background and had several places for this color. You also could use the cream puff. If you wanted to use that instead, you could use that. I'm going to try these, and we're going to see what it looks like. You can always, I also have a blue, I think I do have a blue metallic. The blue metallic I have, though, is more of a navy. It's more of a navy. I do have, wait, I do think I do have another one. Hold on, y'all. My brain is just thinking here. I do have the blue diamond, which is a little bit off. It could be mixed with paint if we decided to do that. That might work too. You kind of can blend your metallics also with your paint colors. As long as we're nice on YouTube, I do not mind you watching. Please give me a hello, a hi. Welcome. All right, let's get a little bit more of our glazed donut out. Yeah, sorry for it's getting to the end. I have to put a little bit more in. So it is making a puffy noise. It's not going to hurt anything. Still works. Okay, let's get these done. And these are trying to see if they're that mold. I don't think so. They're in a mold by themselves. I'm pretty sure it's this one. And this comes from Amazon. That's the mold I used. And I used the Form Flex compound that you can order online. I think we'll have enough to get these painted up and dry these. This is also a clay that is made that's earth friendly. So if you use this, you don't have to worry about something being in it that will bother you either. I do like to use earth friendly items that are made from the earth, because I feel like that's better for you. You're not getting something in your system. You're not breathing something that you shouldn't. We have enough pollutants in the world that we need some items that will not cause problems. Okay, got all those painted up. That didn't take any time. All right, get that a little bit right in there. We'll get those painted up and dried. And let's get them on our frame. we will be using two kinds of glue. Or at least, yeah, we use both of them. Let me move that over that way. I think these will be pretty with it. I may have to touch that up just a little bit. I see where I missed just a little bit on that. Let me get my brush back. There we go. And I always can go back. You can always go back and touch it up if you need to. I think those will be dry. Okay, now let's use our Quick Thick Tight Bond. This is a wood glue, so any kind of wood glue will work for you. But you want something that's a glue that will dry pretty quick. So this is a quick dry, but it gives you time to mold it. So I'm going to get it ready, see where I'm going to put it, and then I'll put just a tad of hot glue just to hold it right now, because this is kind of a plastic type surface. So you want to make sure that you can get it to stay on while it's drying. So I'm just going to put it right up here. We're going to kind of mold it around like we want it, and you can do that. So let's put just a little bit of hot glue. And I am using the Gorilla Glue. So I'm just going to put just a tad in a couple of places I did not put the other glue, just to give it a hold right now. I don't usually use a lot of hot glue on your molds because it won't hold. They'll kind of come right off. So I'm just going to form that a little bit, just pushing it on with my hands. And you can always let it dry a little bit and push it, put a little bit more glue and push it some more down. But it'll kind of mold to what you want there. And the glue's going to dry clear, so you're okay. Let's put our glue tool right there. We're going to put this one up here. And I just spread the glue with my fingers, and then I add the hot glue to the places I didn't put this glue. Just a tad. You don't need much, because you don't want the hot glue, a lot of hot glue, because it can just pop it. It'll pop it right off of your, what you're gluing it on. Let's see if we can match this one kind of with what we have on the other one. I do want that to mold more around there. You kind of do have to hold them a minute if you want it to kind of mold different than you want. So if you want to kind of fold these down a little bit, see it's not quite dry, and too, this material is a little slick. So that's what we have so far. That one slid off because it wasn't dry. Let's put a little bit more hot glue right here to hold it. And that glue is never dry. It doesn't dry that quick, so you have to give it a minute. Okay, let's put this back on here. Let's push it down. Now we're getting that a little adhesion right there. There we go. Okay, just be real careful when you're putting your molds on. It does take a minute. Now, we probably want to put these up this way, because if you put them down, they're not going to look right. You're kind of matching, so you should put them upside down on this side. That's the way I learned to do it, but now if you don't like that look, you can definitely put them just like this, and they'll be the exact same. But I kind of like it like this so that it kind of frames it. So that's why I like to do mine like this. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Lori. Good to see you today. I do like to speak to my friends. Thank you for being on YouTube. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for those. Well, thank you. Thank you for those waves. Hello to you. Thank you for all of that. I appreciate it. Y'all be sure and share my YouTube and share out my Facebook so that this video will get out there. I appreciate that. And let me, on YouTube, let me know where you're from. I am from the United States. In the southern part, which we're not getting as much of that cold and everything right now. It's a little cooler today because it's rainy and yucky, but not cold. And so we're having a heat wave this week, like spring-like weather, but that doesn't mean that our winter is over. We have very short winters here, and so we don't get a whole lot of winter, just enough to tease us for a little while, but we probably still will have some more winter weather. I don't think the winter is over. I think it's just giving us a little tease right now. And I'm just going to hold these down for a minute and try to get these on down here. Does take just a minute. And we want to make sure these are dry before we put our print in our frame. Does take them a minute to dry. These are already almost dry, but these are still a little wet right here. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit more glue right there. So anytime that you're using molds, it does take them a minute to dry. And I think it's this surface too, because it's more of a plastic. And so it takes a little bit longer for that to dry. But it's going to be pretty. All right, that's what we have so far. Then our print's going to go under here. I'm going to let these dry good. But I am going to put a little coat of, I think I'll put a little of that Prosecco on. Let me see if this is going to show up. Sometimes it's almost the same color. It may not highlight as well. So let's take a little bit and see. I think I'll take a little of this blue diamond out and see what it looks like. It may be a little bit too bright. It's not bad. I wonder how this would look. You can always paint over. So if we put something on here that doesn't look right, we can paint over. I'm just going to put a little bit at first, and I've still got to get this glue down. I'm going to put just a tad more hot glue under this one. Hey, Linda from Utah, how are you? I'm going to put some hot glue under that just to give it an adhesion right now till that other glue kicks in. It does take it a minute. Okay, that way that won't move. I kind of like the blue. I'll take a little of that hot glue off right there. It dries quick. Y'all like the blue? I kind of like it. Just take a little bit on your fingers. Not too much, not too much. I think that's going to be pretty with it. I like the blue with it. So I think that'll be pretty. So I'm going to let the molds dry. And then I'm going to frame our picture. and it will go on the frame just like this. I don't want to hold it up. I don't want those to fall off because they are still, this one's almost dry here. And then if these don't seem like they're sticking well to this frame, I will paint the frame. But I think they will. They're just going to take a little time. I'll probably clamp them just a little bit. I'm going to frame that, and that's going to be what we have today with our blended colors. I hope that y'all enjoyed that. And if you ever have any questions, let me know and I'll answer them. Thank you for the hearts. So that's what I have today. I'm going to frame this, and then I will take a picture, and I will also post that in on YouTube and on Facebook so that you can see the final results. And again, the colors I used for the top of this, that was Blue Diamond, and that was on top of the glazed donut. I used a little bit of cotton candy, a little bit of Caribbean Cooler or Caribbean Cooler, whichever you want to call it, a little bit of red velvet, a little bit of mojito, and the sugared glass and cream puff. So those are the paint colors I used. You can use any color paints you have that you can mix and match and fill in your background. That's what you can do with them. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will see you again soon. Thank you for being with me, and thank you for joining me today.